and T here on my platform, CC Sutton, your work-life performance leader. I just wanted us to sit down and connect with you all this evening. Thank you for welcoming us into your homes, giving us some time to just impart some hope, some laughter, some advice, in helping you get through the pandemic. Tonight, it is all about you and yo boo. And we're going to talk about how to divorce-proof your marriage during the pandemic. Proof. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to see a little bit of this going on.
Cheers to it.
Cheers to it. T and I have already opened up a nice bottle of wine. It's 6 p.m. We are officially off the clock. So feel free to grab a glass and join us right here at the table. But tonight, we readily recognize that this has caused a lot of tension in some homes. Hopefully not your home, but even if it's not your home, we ask that you take this information that we're giving you and you spread it and give it to others that you know who are struggling, because everybody is not okay. Right. In fact, Mayor Turner went live yesterday and someone from his team said that domestic violence is up by 79%. 79%. That's a whole lot. And it's so unfortunate that it's happening at this time. But 79% compared to last year around this time, it is up. So
women, y'all got to stop beating on your husband.
You know, there is that going on. I mean, it's a lot of things going on. The children, men, women, it's just so much going on. So right now we are going to sit down and just share a few tips that'll help you. We don't want this to take all night, but we thank you for joining us. Please feel free to tag a friend or two, share it on your timeline. Charmaine Nesby, thank you so much for joining us. We just look forward to being here with you for a couple of minutes. So we want to go ahead and jump right into this. How are we going to go about how to divorce-proof our marriage? That is not what I'm trying to say. It's been a long day. Let me just start off with that. So we're going to jump right into how to divorce-proof your marriage during the pandemic. And the first thing that we really want to just jump right into this and tell you is that you have to be realistic about your expectations. So many people are going into this thing just like, well, you need to come on and get with it, you know?
With it.
But that's not, it's hard.
Because it's a big adjustment.
It's a huge adjustment, which leads us into the first thing that you need to ask yourselves here, which is, prior to the pandemic, what was my spouse like?
We didn't really know because y'all was gone 8 hours a day.
What was really going on with our spouse? You know, was he hands-on with the children, or she? Let me be fair. Was he or she hands-on with the children? Was my partner even involved with household chores? Did my partner communicate regularly? And the reason why it's so important to ask these questions is because if you're thinking to yourself that your partner needs to start doing all these things and they weren't before,
big adjustment. So if I was used to going to work and now all of a sudden I got to wash dishes, laundry, fold fitted sheets, you know what I'm saying? That can be a challenge.
It's a big challenge. And I think it's unfair for you to jump right into it expecting that your spouse is going to just all of a sudden make all these things happen. So be realistic. Be realistic and ask yourself some questions. But
it's been 4 weeks now. I mean, is it realistic now? Well, that only takes 21 days to form.
Let me tell you something. It's not realistic if you have not sat down to talk about it.
Exactly.
And a lot of couples have not really sat down. A lot of us are just reacting.
Yeah.
We know it has to get done. Oh my God, let me do it. Hurry up. But we haven't really sat down.
Now it's the time to be proactive. Before you proactively walk into a divorce attorney's once this quarantine is lifted.
It's real. It's real. So then from there, you need to ask yourselves, you know, which areas can my spouse help out and share the load? Some of us have partners who have to work during the day away from home. So look at your situation. Is my partner working from home? If not, how can I get them involved once they get home?
It's kind of like the great philosopher Kevin Hart said, help me, help me, help you.
That's real. That's fair. That's fair. So, and then you need to ask yourselves, you know, how do I keep my partner engaged and committed and remembering to do the to-dos? Because I believe that you all do want to do your part.
Not really. Yeah, we try. Well, we want to keep you happy.
Some of y'all do.
We don't want to do the work. We just want the product of you being happy.
Well, See, I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt here.
Yeah, let's keep it
but real. Let's just keep it real. So, honestly, wives, husbands, sometimes our partner forgets. We need to figure out ways to help them to remember, whether they be sticky notes, whether they be text messages. There's some apps out there to help with that. And then you just really need to be patient.
Yes.
But some of you all are feeling like, I got to do this all by myself. Because normally, let's just be honest, the wife is the one who's carrying the load. And a lot of us have a very, very hard time doing this. Asking for support.
All you got to do is ask.
Y'all say that. Y'all make it sound so easy. But the expectation, the societal norm is you better have it all together. Because if you don't, then you feel like you're incompetent as a wife.
Communication is key. You just got to tell us what you want. Tell us what you want.
We
will acquiesce to your request, baby.
That's fair. That's fair. So you've heard it today. I believe that T is speaking on behalf of all the husbands out there. It's okay for us to ask for support. Yes, you're the representative right now. So we need to be asking you all for support. How do we need to go about doing that? Talk to us about the time, tone, and tact.
Ooh, the time, tone, and tact. So, fellas, we all know it's all about the finesse game, right? You got to make sure the finesse game is on point during these quarantine Rona times, right? So you got to make sure that she's in a good mood. You got to make sure she's in a good mind space. It always helps if you give her something first. Giver's gain. That's a good saying I've heard. So make sure the timing is right. What was the next one? The tone. The
tone. And can I say something about the timing? Sometimes I have to be honest. We as wives, we know something just needs to get done, and we're not even thinking about the timing. We giving you whatever we need to give you at that time because that's when I need it. But we really have to be mindful. Is it the best time to talk about the kids and what you need in the morning before the day gets started, or is it once he comes home after a long day, like late at night? When is the best time for me to approach my husband?
You need to add another T. Do a temperature check.
That's fair.
Do a temperature check. See where your significant other is. Where's their mind? Are they just waking up? That they have a long day? Did they just get in a spat at work? And so now you're giving them something they already don't want to do. But now it's like I'm obligated to do it because I want to keep you happy because I'm stuck here with you 24 hours a day. So make sure that the temperature is right as well. So it's tone, timing. What was last? So
the tone. Touch on the tone. What does our tone need to be if we come into you asking for support?
Fellas, we already know ladies are the softer side of Sears. We can't just talk to them like we would the fellas. So we always have to remember that. Yes, they hold it down. They know how to support us and how to run a household. But at the same time, we can't talk to them like we would another fella. So we have to make sure that we keep our tone in proportion to our relationship. Make sure we show that respect, show that we uplift them, and show that we honor them. And so that means watch your language, watch your voice, watch how much bass you put into it, things like that.
That's fair. And for ladies, what we need to be doing right now is just making sure that we don't have the whole neck roll and the attitude. And you could be doing and you should be doing. And I don't understand how come you not doing. It's really about just coming to each other like we're on the same team.
Yeah.
Asking for support. This is a partnership. Let's start there. Yeah. This is a partnership. No one should be doing any of this alone. Let's just be honest about it. And the tact is just all about what you're saying when you're saying it, without the you always doing and you never do.
Yeah, they don't like that word always and never. Yeah. Be careful with that. Tread lightly.
The next thing that you want to do is you want to be specific in what you're asking for, wives or husbands, whatever it is that you need, clearly communicate what you need. For example, I need your support once you get home and washing the kids and making sure they're put to bed. Can you do that for me, please?
When you say it like that, it sounds fair and doable. But if you just start yelling at me, wash your dirty little kids, then it's a little challenging for me to acquiesce to that request.
Exactly. And remember, somebody is bound to forget to do something. So sticky notes, making reminders, putting it on each other's calendars, doing what you can to help the other person stay engaged, committed, and accountable.
Tell them about our app.
Which app? We got so many apps. Okay, so we use the app AnyDo. That's ANYDO. I love AnyDo because it allows you to share tasks with your partner, making sure things get done. But for those of y'all who have families, big families, and a lot of moving parts, one of the best apps is Cozy, COZI. I've heard so many great things about the Cozy app. There are a lot of you all who use it. So I encourage you to check out that app. That's a really, really good app to help you out. The next thing that you want to do is you want to manage your emotions.
Tell them about that.
Women, we tend to get, when we feel like he's not doing his part, we tend to get a little resentful and bitter. And
that's why we keep giving y'all wine. It helps manage those
it
emotions.
Does help. It helps to manage my emotions.
It numbs the anger. Buy stock in wine right now. Shout out to our friends with Pure Noir. They have a wine company right now.
They do.
Carissa and Kenneth Stevens.
Yes, check them out. But for those of us who need to stash up on some wine, check them out. But manage your emotions. That's really, really big. Your husband, your spouse, whoever, they're not mind readers. So yeah, just cut it. Be specific in what you need. The next thing you want to do is you want to assess what other resources are around you to help out. We can't put it all on each other. Please. You know, this right now this takes a village. We are now in village mode. And so I encourage you to reach out to grandparents, reach out to aunts, uncles, cousins, your favorite babysitters, whoever it is, and maybe schedule some virtual play dates for the kiddos. But as you're out there asking for help, please be sure to offer your help and offer your support. So for example, if you have a neighbor that does a virtual play date with the kiddos for you for an hour, maybe ask them if you can look out for their kids the next time they have a meeting or something like that. But it's just really important that at this time we lean on our tribe. And people don't know you need help until you ask for it. Okay. So we just covered the whole part about asking for support. Now we're going to talk about our next point, which is let structure guide you along the way.
Let it lead you.
Let it lead you. I want you all to understand that you all cannot do this alone. You all need to be sitting down nightly together and discussing your schedules. You need to be talking about the meetings that you may have. If you have a meeting, if Tristen has a meeting going on, and hopefully I don't have a meeting going on at the same time, then maybe I can watch the kiddos and keep them engaged and do whatever I need to do. Cool.
It's like, the gentleman said from Friday, you got to coordinate. Coordinate your schedules, coordinate your activities, coordinate your free time.
Yes.
So sometimes, it's always great to be alone with your spouse. But let's be honest, sometimes we need alone time.
Well, we're going to talk about that.
So maybe we need to sit on the patio and smoke a cigar by ourselves, fellas, or even ladies. Maybe the ladies just need to have their own self-care spa day. So coordinate every aspect of your day.
Spa day at home.
At home, yes.
Yes, spa day.
Stay home and wash your hands.
And wash your hands. But right now, if you think of this as a triangle, you're having to coordinate 3 different schedules. You're coordinating your schedule, your spouse schedule, and your child's schedule. It would behoove you to print out all these schedules and look at where the gaps are and start filling them in where they're needed. But you gotta get on target with schedules and allow the structure to be your guide. Next point, everyone needs time to realign. Okay.
That's like a relationship chiropractic adjustment, right? Where they crack the back.
Yeah, I like that. I like that analogy. But think about it as when you just first got married, and let's just say you weren't living together. Now you're living together. We need time to realign. I need you to be flexible with me. I need you to be patient with me. This is a new structure. Please do not go into this thinking that people need to hurry up and adjust to this, because it's going to take your children time. It's certainly going to take your partner time, and it's going to take you time too. So everybody needs to be empathetic.
Unfortunately, it seems like we got a lot of time. We're probably not getting out of a lockdown until like June or July. So we got time to work on it.
We'll perfect this by the time it's all said and done. Next point, please plan everything. I mean, as much as you can plan, talk about it. If you are going through this whole thing in a silo, it's going to be a rough journey.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really rough journey. This is not the time for you to kind of clam up and just do your own thing. It's really important that you are managing your time at work, managing your time with your spouse, and managing your time with your children. They're going to feel it.
Yeah.
So plan everything.
Yeah. Dinners, breakfast, snacks, walks.
Who's going to do it?
What are we watching? When are we going to watch it? All of that. Got to coordinate that.
We literally, look, y'all, it's just 2 of us plus our fur baby. And we literally have to plan all these things. Like, what time are you off the clock? What time we starting dinner? What time are we going to relax? I mean, we got to coordinate all that.
Yeah, got to.
Next thing, we have to set some boundaries. And boundaries are not a bad thing. Boundaries just simply help us to stay in order and to stay in the right frame of mind with things as well. So you need to designate your workspace for one another.
Yes, indeed.
Tristan and
Stay off my desk. Stop moving my stuff.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. We have been crashing a little bit on the whole use of the camera. He told y'all earlier we're functioning off of one really nice camera, and so it's his camera. But I believe that we are one, right? Can I hear the saints? Can I hear the saints? We
don't
want
hear from the ain'ts. There's saints and ain'ts. Let me hear from the ain'ts.
We don't want to hear from the ain'ts.
The ain't, it ain't yours.
So now I'm having to put on his calendar when I'm having Zoom trainings or webinars and things like that, so he can know, okay, she might need a camera and we can coordinate a little bit better. But set your boundaries. Set your boundaries. Sit down and talk about what those are. Again, it only helps.
It only helps. That's how we're going to make marriage great again, right?
That's how we're going to make marriage great again.
Indeed. Make my stimulus check great again, too, while you're out there tweeting Trump.
Can you do that? Here's a really, really, really important one. We as women, I can only speak for women right now, when we ask for help and set our expectations, sometimes those expectations are not always met. And sometimes it really irritates us to where we like, fine, forget it. I'll just do it myself. I don't need you. But wives, I want to encourage you to stay away from that. Right now, we are seeking completion, not perfection. So if you asked him to get the children dressed that day, so what if the clothes are on backwards? At least the clothes are on.
They're not going nowhere.
They're not going.
They're going to the living room. Why does it matter?
It really don't.
See, I'll be stressing over little, minute things. Man, we're big picture things.
Yeah.
All on that little stuff.
I'm with that. I am definitely with that. I would agree with you on that. Sometimes, ladies, we just need to chill and just seek completion. It's done. At least the dishes are washed.
Seek Jesus. That's what y'all need sometimes.
Well, we'll seek Jesus too. Our next point, while you're asking for support, it is so important that you show appreciation. And I cannot emphasize this point enough. Some of you all may be saying, well, what I need to say thank you for if he bathed the kids? Those are his kids too. So, I mean, what do I need to thank him for taking out the trash, making the bed?
See how that energy changes? Because at first it was yours as ours. Now it's your kids. You see how that goes?
Hour.
When Eve ate the apple,
we're not going.
Eve ate the apple, and then that started the coronavirus.
No.
And now here we are today. If Eve hadn't ate the apple, there'd be no Rona, there'd be no quarantine. I just want to let y'all know it's in the Bible. Check it. Pray, breathe.
Bear with us for a minute. Sip your wine.
Sip my wine.
So showing appreciation goes so far. Let me tell you why it's so important to show appreciation. I'm gonna give you an example. I every morning without fail make the bed. Except sometimes I might accidentally.
I just want to say Monique said amen to the Eve ate the apple.
She didn't say that.
Okay.
She didn't say that. So sometimes I don't get a chance to make the bed. And my lovely partner here, he will sometimes make we're partners. We're partners. We're partners. Husband, partner. He will sometimes make the bed. And it touches my heart because I know he would normally never make the bed. But I am convinced that he makes the bed because he really appreciates how I show appreciation when he does make the bed. So it goes a really long way when you show appreciation to your spouse. They all of a sudden somehow remember to do these things that you've asked them to do, and they do it on their own. So appreciation goes a long way. Okay.
The phrase is, if you act right, we'll act right.
Oh, I love that is. If we act right, y'all will act right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Take notes, ladies.
I can deal with that.
Yeah, you can deal with that. Act right, make them act right.
And then also under this one, we want to make sure that you're taking time for one another. It is so easy to just get inundated with meeting everybody else's demands. Okay. The children, work, clients, everybody. Yes. And then by the time you get to your spouse, you tapped. Well, we need to find a way to start reserving some of that energy for our spouses. So if that means shutting down the computer a little bit earlier so you can have some energy for yourself, you need to do that. I mean, you're not going to get everything done in one day anyway. You might as well shut it down and save it for tomorrow. But it is so important that you are making time for each other daily. I cannot emphasize that.
It's only fair because we're all stressed right now, and we all need that interaction, that warm and fuzzy, the connection. Yeah. And I know that we're supported and loved.
That's important.
It is important. I love you.
I love you too. And I'm going to tell you this. I don't know. I want you all to put in the comment box if you feel like you and your partner have grown just a little closer during this time, just a little bit. Just say closer in the box if you feel that way. I really feel like we've already been very close. And just to give you some context here, we've been working from home together for a very long time. So, this is not new, but
this is a little different.
It's a very little different. But I do feel like we have drawn closer. We have been more intentional about our time together. It's a lot of good that can come out of this if you get on the same page.
Yeah. Speaking on the same page, now's the time, depending on the temperament and how your relationship was with your spouse, be honest with them. Yeah. So we've grown closer. We are really enjoying this time, but there's a lot of stress. I got 2 businesses. I got a lot going on. And I'm cooped up in the house now, or I'm used to being able to go and come as I please. So I had to sit down and tell her, hey, I'm a little on edge. Yeah. My fuse is shorter. Yeah. So if I snap or don't respond the way I used to, just understand where I'm coming from. And that has really helped us out because little things set me off now that they didn't used to do for the last 13 years of our marriage. But we stuck in the house for 4 weeks.
Yeah. It's been real. So it's real for everybody.
Have that, be able to have, and significant other, whether it's wife or husband or whomever, be able to be open and receptive to that honest communication so you can continue to cohabitate in peace together.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to touch on how important morning conversations are right now. Every morning when we wake up, without fail, our routine is our devotional time, our oneness with God, take that time. Then we roll over and look at each other and we ask each other, what are you grateful for today?
Yeah.
What are you grateful for?
And I typically say wine.
He says more than just wine, y'all. But we ask that. And then I ask him, what's on your mind? What's going on? And that's when he'll say something like, my fuse is really short today. I need you to be understanding and bear with me. And that sets the tone for your day. Because can you imagine if he did not tell me that and he just starts snapping on me throughout the day? He gonna get a Corona clapback. Okay, somebody hashtag that. We've been talking about the Corona clapback. Somebody is doing it.
Let's start that. Y'all remember Thanksgiving clapbacks? Was it Thanksgiving with Black clapback? Let's start doing the Corona clapback. Y'all just start coming up with some clapbacks around.
Yes, I'm ready to laugh. Hashtag Corona clapback. Let's get with it.
Let's get it.
So, and then at the end of the day, let's talk about how we end our day. Same thing. What are you glad about? What happened today that you were happy?
Who made you laugh?
Who made you laugh? We ask that all the time. Who made you laugh today? Because some of our clients.
It's typically somebody on Facebook.
That's true. That's true. But start your day and end your day on the same page. It's so important as you're going through this.
You know who's been really making me laugh a lot lately?
Who?
Carol Baskins. Carol Baskins.
Go ahead. Get it out your system. Oh, yeah. I don't know if y'all have watched it.
Free Joe Exotic.
If you have not watched Tiger King, you are missing out on life right now. Please watch Tiger King so you can relate to Carol Baskins and why he opens up all of his webinars with,
hey there, cool cats and kittens.
Just watch it and get back with us. All right. I have lost so make time. Okay.
Stay focused.
We're moving on to our next thing. We're having a reality check here, okay? Brandon Johnson said Free Joe.
Free Joe.
Hold on. Let's take a moment for Free Joe.
Man, Free Joe, man. Even the president talking about Free Joe, man. This is wrong. We need Kim Kardashian to go exonerate and Free Joe Exotic right now. Do it for the kittens. Do it for the tigers. You know you need a tiger for $2,000? That's your stimulus check. All right, go ahead.
Please watch Tiger King so you can know what we're talking about. So back to this. We're having a quick reality check. How well do you know your partner's temperament? And this goes hand in hand with what we were just talking about. Ask yourself, during what time of day is my partner in the best mood? How does my partner respond when he or she is irritated? What time of day is the best day? What time of the day is the best time that my partner usually likes alone? Is it usually in the mornings? Is it late at night? Keep these things in mind as we go through this next part. Okay. Yeah. So number 3, you gotta set expectations about how to fight. Let's talk about it.
We gotta fight. We gotta expect.
We're gonna have some disagreements. Okay. Everybody not throwing, dukes around.
So
you
just walking in expecting to fight.
No. But let's be realistic. Okay.
That's what we're doing.
We are in confined spaces. Uncertainty is everywhere.
Yes.
Tension is high.
Yes, it is.
it's probably pretty likely we're going to have some disagreements, right?
So there's a high propensity of that.
Y'all, this is the biggest part of this whole thing. You need to set some expectations about how you're going to handle disagreements, okay?
'Cause they're inevitable. They are inevitable.
They are very inevitable. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to go ahead and decide when you're going to set aside that time to vent to one another. Yes. Okay. So do we agree at 10 o'clock every night? We're just going to get together after the kids are down and we're just going to do some venting.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, I believe that if you schedule it out, don't do it in a moment. That gives you time to formulate your thoughts,
right?
Analyze the situation. Maybe what they did wasn't that bad. Maybe you don't need to have that conversation now as you processed it. Right. But if you just respond immediately in the moment, then you're going to have another little quarantine situation within your house.
That's real. That is so real. And I cannot emphasize enough that right now may not always be the best time. And don't think that, just because you set aside that time to vent, it has to be about that person. Right. Maybe I need to vent about work. Something happened, the kids. I would encourage you to take 10, 15 minutes each person and just vent. Yeah. And during that time, the other person needs to have the laptop closed.
Yes.
Cell phones down. I need your undivided attention. But guess what I don't maybe need? Mm-mm. I don't maybe need a remedy or a solution right now. I may just really need for you to listen, because please know that part of healing and resolving an issue sometimes is just getting it out.
Yeah.
So unless your partner asks you specifically for a resolution, I need your help in resolving this situation, just listen.
Yeah. Sometimes it's all it takes. Sometimes you just need to get it off your chest and say it with your chest, and then make sure that everybody's on one accord. You okay with that?
Get it off your chest and say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest.
I love it. You're right. That's sometimes what you need to do. But take the time to vent. This is the time now to ask your partner, what's on your mind?
Yeah.
How's everything going? Please daily be doing a mental check with your partner. Everybody is not okay. And everybody's not just going to come out and say it on their own.
Yeah.
So daily, you need to be checking in with your partner. You good?
Yeah.
What's going on up here?
All right. You need anything?
You
need space?
Yeah.
I ask her that almost every other day now. Like, do you need some alone time?
Yeah.
She'll go in her corner, coloring her color book.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
Just because you're asking for space does not mean that I don't love you anymore. A lot of times we think, if he needs space for me, it must be for me. Don't take it personal. That other person is processing a lot right now.
Miss Shayla says she goes and hides in the closet. Blink if you're okay. Blink if you're okay.
But it's okay. Time apart. Listen, if you don't get anything else out of this, time apart is just as important as time together.
I need my time apart.
That's it.
I need my time apart.
This next one here, this is going to save your marriage.
Uh-oh.
Talk about it.
Whoo, man. So there's a phrase that Pastor Timothy Sloan taught us in premarital counseling. Is out of love. So typically, let's say she does something to upset me. The normal approach would be, why you keep always doing this? Why you keep moving my stuff around, et cetera, et cetera. And what happens? We get the corona clapback. You know how women talk. First of all, what you ain't going to do is, that's typically how it's going to go. But if I go to her with the same grievance, same situation, CC, out of love, I need to talk to you about leaving your hairpins all over my sink. It's clogging up the sink. I can't shave properly. I would like for you to keep your hairpins from your fro on your sink. Could you do that for me, please? And what was your response?
I'll do better next time. Boom, done. Move on. We're not harping on that anymore. Yeah. So let's talk about the rules real quick about saying out of love. Yeah. Out of love simply prepares the other person for something that you're getting ready to tell them that they're probably not going to want to hear. Yes. That's all it is. It's just preparing the other person. There is nothing worse than being caught off guard with some bad news.
Right.
That's when the corona clapback happens. And so when you say out of love, that gives that person the opportunity to de-arm, calm down, use their listening ears, okay? And they know when I say that you can't do a tit for tat and you cannot get upset.
Right.
This will save your marriage. We talked about this before. I don't know how many of you all are using it.
We talk about it almost every episode of Sitting With The Suttons.
We do.
But for those who are new to the Suttons, here we are.
Out of love will save your marriage. It is a safe zone. Yes. If you violate this safe code, it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
If violation is getting upset or doing a tit for tat, it doesn't work anymore.
You have to adhere to it. And it has literally saved our relationship 13 years strong by the grace of God. But you can't clap back. You can't say, well, you leaving your hairpins on the sink. Well, you don't pick up your shoes. There's no comeback. There's no clap back. You just have to say, I understand where you come from. You can have a conversation about it.
Sure.
Tell me more. Help me understand your position.
Right.
But the reply, the response, you doing this too, no, that's not the place for it. Wait for an hour. Wait another day. Out of love, I need you to pick up your underwear off the floor. That's when you can say it.
Right.
But it can't be, because then now we're going all night. That's you do this, you do this, you don't do this. So
and it's futile. Mm-hmm. We've done absolutely nothing. We haven't resolved anything.
Yeah.
So if you don't take away anything else from this live broadcast, please try the whole out of love method. It really, really helps and it works. Yeah. Okay. We already talked about be specific as possible on that. But let me touch on that real quickly. So when you are when you're trying to correct the behavior of your spouses, okay, you need to be specific as possible. So for example, the generalizations of you always or you never, got to nix that.
Got to. It doesn't, fellas, it doesn't work. It feels good, but it doesn't work. And
in reality, that person may not always or never, so making generalizations only adds fuel to the fire. So be specific. For example, when you do this, it makes me feel versus, oh, you do this on purpose to make me mad.
Right.
Totally different energy. We're talking about talking to one another as if we are partners on the same team and giving the other person the benefit of the doubt, to be honest.
Absolutely, because we're human. So we assume, we're married. That's my spouse, significant other. They're supposed to assume the way I want things done or know what I want or know how I like it. But we're all human. We got our own lives going on within our lives together and distractions. So we need to make sure we communicate. Communication is key. Communication rules the nation. So don't just get too comfortable in a lack of communication. Always talk to each other and understand where we're at. So I believe that's one of our strong points in our marriage is, hey, tell me what you really meant by that. Or be honest with me. So don't play games. Don't hide things. If you really feel a certain way, respectfully let them know. And that way you can work that out.
That's good. I just mentioned it here, but giving each other the benefit of the doubt and validating each other's feelings right now is so crucial. Yes. The way you're processing this may not be the way he's processing it. Yeah. And just to be like, oh, it'll be all right. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That ain't working right now.
I know I look like I'm having fun on Facebook. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get out. Free T Sutton too. And Joe.
He's not taking it that well, but just know that you need to really be validating your spouse's feelings. Whatever's coming out of their mouth, validate it. It may not make sense to you. You may not feel none of it, but validate it. Yes. Right now is not the time for invalidation. And giving each other the benefit of the doubt, we tend to take things personally a lot in relationships. That's because you're very close to my heart.
We feel targeted. We feel like you're aiming at us and trying to hurt us, but it's really just, I'm just sharing how I feel. And as a human, I have my right to have my feelings as well.
That's real. That's good. Giving each other the benefit of the doubt. Now, this one right here, sometimes you just need to step back. If you see your spouse is getting frustrated or agitated, encourage them to step away. Yeah. Go for a walk, babe. Just step outside, go sit in the car, take a drive around the neighborhood.
Everywhere Jill Scott said in that walk song, go there. Just take a long walk around the park after dark.
Right.
Maybe we could spark.
Right.
Whatever.
Oh, you don't know no more words, y'all. That's what that means. But do that. Step away. And if your spouse is not stepping away, they're too irritated, they're too upset, you step away. Yeah. Just don't return the negative energy for negative energy.
Tell them about the time you followed me around the house. Man, go ahead. Let them know. Keep it real with them. I stepped away and she stepped right behind me all across the house.
This was like year 1. Possibly 2 or 3 of our marriage. I did. I struggled with that because I was the type of person that was like, no, we're going to handle this right now. We are not going to let the sun set.
Let me give some context. So we had a disagreement. My argument style is I'm in tune with her. I respect and honor my wife. I got upset. I need a minute to compress and think about what you just said, and then I can reply. I stated that very clearly, didn't I?
You were very
And so
clear.
I said, I'm going to the next room to think. This sister soldier over here walks around the whole house. No, we're going to talk about it now. Well, I just need a minute, baby. No, well, you going to talk about it now. I just told you I need, and follow me from 3 rooms and say, we're going to talk about it now. Go ahead, tell them what was going on.
Y'all, I mean, we all, it's a growing phase. Like we're talking about it right now. You got to adjust, Yeah. I did do all those things. I did. But
it was not effective though.
It was terribly ineffective. It just doesn't work. It makes things worse. It agitates the other person even more. I have learned that if I step away from it, allow him some time to breathe, he usually comes back within at least the next 30 minutes, sometimes hour if he's too upset. I give him that. But we do need to back up sometimes.
Yeah. So with that being said, you have to understand your significant other, your partner's mental space. So when I say I need to go take a minute, I'm going to process, I might have been wrong, but let me play the whole scenario back in my mind.
Right.
And I have come back. I apologize. You were right. I was wrong on that, or I could have done better, so on and so forth. But what happens is I'm a Taurus. So if you provoke me and I'm trying to de-escalate the situation and you keep poking, then I'm going to escalate the situation. And now we're at a nuclear situation. So understand that if your partner is sincere about, hey, I need a moment to process and then come back with you. If they have a history of that, allow them that time, especially right now, because chances are they're going to come back and they're going to try to mend the situation. But if you keep poking that bear, roar.
Yeah. Shout out to all the Taurus out there.
Move.
You great old bulls. Y'all are very, very, very loyal. Very loyal. I love my Taurus. But y'all, you poke at one too much, and that's it.
Yeah.
We're almost done here. I want to emphasize here real quickly, just be honest about your need for alone time.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about it. Babe, every day when I get home, before you hand those kids to me, I need an hour to myself.
Yeah.
I just need some time to decompress. Can I have my self-care time? And we're going to talk about self-care in a minute, but be honest, talk about it, schedule it. Yeah. Just go ahead and put it on the map. At 10 o'clock, I already know he's going to need his little time. Yep. Let's go ahead and get that out the way.
Yep. Typically nowadays, I'm getting pulled a lot for marketing advice. Yeah. So throughout the day, I'm getting calls, texts, emails, messages, whatever. Hey, I got a question about this, question about that. And then it's like, well, by 5 or 6 o'clock come, I'm ready to not talk about business at all. I want to talk about Facebook. I want to talk about ad, anything. So she knows that, okay, 5, 6 o'clock, it's time for him to decompress. Let's just talk about anything else but business. Because I've probably done it since the moment I woke up.
Right. Be honest. This whole thing, if you haven't noticed the thing by now, it's just about communicating. Tell me what you need to get through this. And I'm going to respect that. I'm going to honor that. And we're going to get through this thing.
Yeah,
we're going to get through this.
All the way to July. Help me.
Self-care. Let's talk about this one. Y'all hear me all the time talking about self-care. I cannot emphasize how important self-care is at this time. Let's get a real clear understanding real quickly what self-care is. Self-care is simply anything that rejuvenates you. It can be 2 minutes. It can be 2 hours. Whatever that is, you need to be making time for it. Gentlemen, I see quite a few of you all joining us tonight. Please take a quick moment and just drop your favorite self-care things that you're doing right now. And women, you can do it too, because quite honestly, a lot of us are getting bored, so we might need some new ideas. So ladies and gentlemen, please type in there real quickly. What are your favorite things to do for self-care? What are you doing to take your mind off of all that is going on? He mentioned earlier, mine is coloring. Every evening, I am coloring my spirit away. Shout out to my first Lady K with the Fellowship of Love Church. She also loves to color. Our pastor says it's because we childish, but I don't care. Shout out to Pastor Lowe. We love you. But
I bet he can't beat me in basketball.
Oh, here we go. But that is my way of relaxing, relating, and releasing. What's your favorite thing to do?
Cigars and bourbon.
However you get it.
Yeah.
Just get
That's
it.
my unplugged time. Listen to some jazz, cigars
Yes.
and bourbon.
Yes.
I'm relaxed. I'm cool. I can face the next day.
Yes. Another thing that we do at night is we listen to jazz music, very soft jazz music to get us to sleep. And
so we use Spotify. I don't know what app you may use, but there's playlists, already curated playlists. So there's like smooth jazz, rainy day jazz, jazz vibes. And we just kind of sit in bed, maybe look on Facebook. She'll do Sudoku or color.
Yeah.
And it's kind of way of relate, relax, release, and decompress.
Wait a minute. Why is everybody talking about wine, cognac? Why is everybody like, are we turning into? No, we're not.
Hey, I would say if Alcohol Anonymous was a publicly traded company, that would be the time to invest because the stock is going to go through the roof after quarantine.
I like what somebody just put, journaling. I think it was Marlene. Let's talk real quickly about journaling. There's no better way to get all your thoughts and feelings out about things, especially if you may not have anyone to talk to or you're not comfortable with talking to anybody. Journaling. But I encourage you every day when you're journaling to write down maybe 2 or 3 things that you're grateful for that day. Gratitude is another thing that I've been doing. So gratitude, I recently started some yoga in there, coloring.
We appreciate that flexibility.
Yeah. We almost done it out of here. See, it started to shut down. But just make sure that you're doing your self-care and that you're scheduling it. Most importantly, listen, if it's not on the calendar, it's probably not going to get done. Yeah. So take a look at both of y'all's calendars and allocate your self-care time. So you're on a self-care mode. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Kids need self-care too, by the way. Make sure that they're doing their self-care. They do not need to be plugged into social media all day. They just don't. They just don't.
Just give them a video game. They'll be all right.
Spoken by someone who does not have any kids. Just the last few points. Don't be passive or resentful if your spouse comes to you and says that they need some self-care time. Listen, make this a family event. I love what Precious was saying in one of my last podcasts. Shout out to Precious Parks. She's doing a lot of great things to help out people with homeschooling and managing work. But I love what she said. She said Friday we were off and the whole family was doing self-care day. Make this a family event. Everybody needs time to relax, relate, release.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's important.
Absolutely. What we got next?
We've pretty much hit them. Check on your partner and family gratitude time. We've talked about it. So y'all, those were our main pointers. We really, really appreciate you joining us. I don't see any questions in here. If you have questions, we're happy to answer those, but I do see a lot of love. Thank y'all so much for joining us this evening.
Tag a friend that's in a relationship that may need to hear this advice. And do us a favor, click that share button and share it on your timeline so others can get this message and information as well.
Yes. And I would like to offer something here as well. For those of you all, there are some of us who honestly are just growing bored. We just don't know what to do.
Help me.
I want you to take a moment to send a text, care for me. You see it scrolling down at the bottom of your screen to 31996 for more self-care ideas. I have taken the time to come up with a very comprehensive list of self-care items. You may not know it, but there are like 8 different areas to self-care. You have psychological self-care, social self-care. Did I say that? Social relationships.
Yes.
Okay. Financial self-care. So many different areas to self-care. And what I have done is I have broken them all out and I've given you different ideas on what to do while you're social distancing. So if you text 31996, you will get that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Anything you want to share with the people? What you got going on? Anything you want to let them know?
Y'all know what I do. I slang Facebook ads. Call me, message me. Stop posting and hoping.
We appreciate y'all so much for the love, Jabrisha. Thank you so much. We love you too. Thank you, sis, Bridget, Precious. We thank y'all for your energy and your time. I
just want Precious to utilize this time to actually learn how to cook. Her skills have been subpar for what I've been seeing from her Facebook pics. So
Precious, I apologize.
Use this time to step your game up.
I apologize.
You got months.
You are so terrible. Precious, you can handle him later. I'll give you permission on that. But thank y'all so much for joining us. We're going to go ahead and check out now. Be blessed. Be safe. We love you guys. And just let us know what we can do for you to be a resource.
Absolutely. Stay blessed.
Care.